So hello everyone, I'm on here with my review of My Hero Academia episode 7 season 3 or episode 45 together, right? Really good episode, had a lot of different contents there. Everything from, of course, the last rescue attempt into some little bit about all the kids, seeing the ending of Red Drive, which I really liked, and some more, management with like, is it a traitor and so on, so a lot to talk about. So let's start with the general, the rescue. I really liked, my biggest thing was Navy Laser with Aoyama-kun. I really liked that. I saw my video last week, I was like, what's happening? Or I was more like, Navy Laser had no, development last week, and I was like, man, he really should do something here. I feel like he really should do something, not instead of being the main character, but do something, right? And it really annoyed me that he didn't try to do anything at all. So I really liked that he kind of waited for the absolute last moment here to do a very critical savior of Tokuyama, right? So that was really brilliant. I think it was a very good scene, and that really kind of like saved a lot of the issue for last week. Not entirely, but I think it really redeemed him mainly. So that definitely was my favorite scene. Second favorite scene was of course magician guy. Sorry, I can't remember his name. If they mention his name, but the shrinking guy. I love, of course, he's like, first trick of magic school, have another trick. Yeah, that was great. That was great. He knew they were gonna try to save him, right? And I also really liked how he kind of like let them think to save them. That also was great. How he's like, well, no, you're over there, guys. Actually, it's so wrong. Yeah, so that was how he kind of waited for it, right? So they would, try to run away from the bad guys, right? Then it's like, well, actually, I still have them. So that was great. So those two scenes together, of course, were the best in my opinion by far, because they were kind of in together, right? He's doing the magic trick, and then Aoyama shoots him down. So that was kind of like the same long, really badass epic scene there. All the moments I actually really love is Toga. I love Toga, Toga is best girl. I love the under girl, because I really like the moment there. Not like last week as well, she's like happy to see Deku, but especially this week here when they're leaving right in the game. It's like, I'm sorry, I have to leave. Don't be angry at me, I still love you. That scene was so brilliant then, because it's very short. It's very short. It's just like very nicely done there on her personality, right? It's like a one-liner that just really hits home in the comedy that is Toga. And it's like, oh yeah, she's so delusional. She believes that he's gonna be angry at her for leaving, too early on their date, kind of like. She's like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think that was great, and that really makes her character awesome. So yeah, I mean, of course, the beginning of the episode was the better part. Later parts when they can talk and so on, just interesting, especially with trading, but the pacing got a little slow, I suppose, in the meeting and so on. So the first half obviously was more impactful. It ends with, of course, the decubility, right? The screaming, the fade, and so on. So everything had 2 different episodes. Yeah, the end of the arc, I suppose, though. So, but a great ending nonetheless. Let's talk about the Traitor then. So the Traitor, I don't know, who it is. I read some of the manga, right? I have not read. I'm not that. I'm not ahead, so I don't know. I have blind reactive. Yeah, I have no idea. But for me, it definitely makes sense. It's a student, and I know people talking about this with me earlier, last year and so on. So I heard about this thing earlier, thinking about it right now. But no, so I have no idea. But I'm thinking that it's definitely a student, a teacher, maybe. I like to say I'm on telling you All Might, because I mean, I guess this potentially could be All Might, and I have some videos on my YouTube's feed when they're like, is All Might the Traitor or something? I'm like, I guess it could be, but I really don't think so. And so I like to tell, I'm telling you about, we know what they are, know about the bar, because it would be such a big upset if All Might was evil. So I think that it's kind of like Captain America being Agent of Hydra. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense kind of thing, right? So no, it probably isn't All Might. I would love if Mike Sensei, he's the guy calling it out. There's a traitor somewhere here. He's the one. That would be awesome. He's the first one to mention it. He would be one who's been an intelligent playwright. But a student makes the most sense. Student makes the most sense by far. I would love to do a video about that, actually, going through every student in, I guess, class A and B, because that seems very reasonable. It would be a student because they might be evil from before, right? They might be, yeah, because the thing is that it's kind of like like in One Piece with the Flamingos crew. I don't want to spoil it, but like the One Piece thing with Virgil and so on, kind of that thing. Where someone is like, oh, I sent him to, be a marine or a pirate. This is not the case with the Flamingos backstory. I sent someone to be, on the other side like 10 years ago, and now he's higher up. So yeah, so why wouldn't the bad guys send in any kind of, person of the kids, except I guess the main character, send him in there and be like, well, he can be a hero, he can pretend to be a hero for years even, right? It could be a very long con where, yeah, they took this guy, he's pure evil, or her, and and then maybe like 10 years later, like, yeah, this guy's always been working for us. Probably this anime can't take that long time, or the manga, whatever, but I definitely can see the possibility where, because that's a great plan. You have someone pretending to be a hero for a long duration, right? Get into the school, get a kind of degree on that thing, going out doing good stuff, but still supplementing the bag of information. So it's a quick, I don't know, who could it be? It feels like, one thing I'm thinking right away though, is that it could be a character with no backstory yet. That's probably the first thing I'm thinking. So like Todoroki, probably not, because we have his backstory, we kind of know how his mom is. Yeah, so I would definitely feel like it's probably be a character who's like, we know about them. So I'm just gonna throw it out there, but I'm thinking Yosuro. I'm thinking Yosuro. This is just for me. This is me, fluent thinking right now. I'm thinking about it right now as I'm watching the episode quickly and just thinking about it generally. I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking Yosuro because I don't think it's gonna be one of the characters like, I can't remember his name. The guy that gets like sugar rush, right? And he gets muscular. Like that guy wouldn't make sense to me because he's kind of in the background all the time, and so we kind of know about him. He's kind of there. So if he's a traitor, that's boring, right? It's boring. He's a traitor, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he gets a lot of screen time and gets like a flashback and so on later on. But for right now, and I think this is enough episodes to feel like the traitor has to be someone that I am emotionally invested into, right? At some degree. It doesn't have to be like Bakugo, Kashan, or sorry, I'm sorry, I meant Bakugo or Todoroki. It doesn't have to be one of the major guys with Deku, the higher ups guys that we have had the most screen time with. Urakara, something like that, or Ida, yeah, those guys had the most screen time, so if they were a traitor, I guess it would be the biggest impact. But I think there also is maybe too much in that notion. So I feel it's gonna be a character that has like, one rank under. A character that has a lot of screen time, but has had no backstory yet, and has no, how would I say that? Yeah, like no real, like meaningful relationship. Yeah, honestly, yeah, because Yoshiro, she wanna be good and so on, but she has so far no motivation why she wants to be the good guy, right? I mean, I'm gonna just get an image here now, honestly. So I can see all the characters. If there's someone I'm thinking about now more, Sue will be interesting as well, I suppose, but she has like almost too much screen time. No backstory. It could be any one of those characters who has like, I would say again, someone with a medium, like the Kirishima, maybe. I don't think so. He's too much of a boneheaded, nice guy, right? No, but I think it's. I'm gonna. I'm gonna make yeah, it's real sure. But anyway, if it's her, I think someone around her level, right? Where we cannot know about them. So Ida doesn't make much sense because Ida is, we know about his family. To some degree, at least, like his mom and brother, so that kind of puts it out of me for it. To the Rocky, as I mentioned earlier, we know about his mom, his father, his siblings. He's very much explained. He can still be the bad guy, but he's too much explained. But Bakugo is also kind of like, it would be too obvious. So yeah, like that guy, and they kidnap him, and that would make any sense. Urakara, it would be really awesome if it was Urakara, because her backstory of just having, I wanna be rich, that's kind of her backstory, right? She's a good person, but also wanna make money. So it could actually work out for her, that her whole backstory is like a lie, and she called her mom and parents, and this guy she's pretending to do it. That would be really awesome, and she's the love of the main character. That would be really, really awesome. I would love that, but I can't see it happening, because it would be too much, right? The main characters, like, the love interest of the main character, actually, it would be too much. Not like in Thundercats, where it's kind of the first episode. Yeah, I guess it's different there. Whatever. Tiny Cats, the anime stopped anyway, right? Can you remember her name? It's like put me out on that. It's a piece of new Tiny Cats, and she's an evil cat, right? But she kind of flirts with Lionel and so on. But in that anime, it's kind of like episode 1 or 2, which is revealed to be, you know, kind of bad guy. It's happening right away. And then it makes sense, right? It's a love interest of the main character, but we as the viewer know from episode like 12 that she's the first episode, into the episode like 10, she's shown to be a character. So we know pretty much from the beginning that she is evil. So we know she's tricking and pretending to be in love with the main character. That's not completely the story, and quite a common story where the viewer knows that, the main character is in trouble, right? So that's a completely other story. Very, of course, common in like drama shows and so on. So have it here where this is the innocent, very nice character. Same with Sue. That would be really weird. But it would be very. I would love it. I think I would love it. I think it would be so awesome. But I don't think it's gonna happen because it would be too much of an upset. So I feel Yasuro. Also, one of the characters kind of in the middle here. There's a lot of screen time, like Uri with the earplug. Could be her, you know. She has no like real backstory. It's kind of in there in the middle. Minetta. I kind of would love him. You know, I love Minetta. I kind of would like if Minetta was the evil mastermind. I kind of would love that. But I feel Minetta as Bakugo is kind of similar situation there, where Bakugo is like the angry guy, so he can't, the angry kind of anti-villain guy, so he can't really be the bad guy because he's too obvious. And Minetta is kind of like the guy, the pervert guy. He's also kind of an evil person, so he can't also be evil because he's too obviously evil. He is evil in a way, right? So that will be like, nah, I don't think so. Lightning, maybe, has some screen time. The Invincible Girl, Hagukara, that would be kind of interesting and funny. That would be interesting and funny. Actually, I could see it being her, even if I can't see her, because she has a lot of screen time at least, right? She is commented and shown a lot of times, right? Where again, I feel like a good example is really the Sugar Rush guy. I can't remember his name, and that is proven enough. No, but seriously, he's a guy, he is in a lot of scenes, right, in the background. But he never says anything. He's just in the background. He's in here, right? He's just a guy over there. So we know it exists. So he could be the bad guy because we know nothing about him at all. His personality. So he's like, but it's like whatever, right? But I think that would be not necessarily right now. But in the end when it's revealed, if it's a student, I would be like, if he doesn't have more, stuff for him, right? So right now he would feel really meaningless, and I think that's probably the traitor has to be someone that we really care about. To some degree, right? The character we think, this character. I guess it also could be from Class B. I could see it being the mimic guy. That's all super annoying. I can see him being evil. Like he could be it. He's kind of like a borderline annoying evil guy already. I guess he's being like, it could be his play. Of course, it could be some other character from Class B and so on, but I don't think so. It would be a little lame if it's any Class A character. Sorry, not a Class A character, right? Class B character kind of like that. And could it be a student? Not a student, a teacher. I suppose, but I think a student would make 10 times more sense, like a new student they kind of send in there, because otherwise, if there's a teacher, let's say, she has been a hero for, 10 years, right, whatever, right, and she's a teacher for this many years, so if they had a traitor, they'd probably be like, well, yeah, we have issued this last year, if it's just a traitor, they would have, stuff happen to them, over a longer time period, right, so it pretty much has to be a new person there, I believe at least, whereas she's like a sleeper agent that's been evil for 10 years, and then now it's time to, show you, but that to me sounds really weird, so I think there has to be one of the new people going to the school, right, that just makes it by far the most sense. But I'm thinking with Yoshiro for now at least. I feel like she could be a good bad character there. She's crying here, this episode here, which actually was a really good scene. But yeah. So anyway, so one more I mentioned before I forget about it. I really like the Kishiro for that matter. I will mention him for here in the end because he's kind of like Bakugo's only friend. I didn't think about it, but I was like, oh yeah, he's his only friend pretty much. He's the guy that actually spends time with Kashan. So he's like, no, I have to do save him, I didn't do anything. I was like, oh yeah, he's his only friend. That makes sense. And So and for the last thing, I want to say one thing though. I have to be negative. No, but it really, really annoys me. I haven't mentioned it yet here. So there's the last thing I want to mention it here. And I really disliked when Deku wakes up. I really disliked it. I mentioned it in episode 4, the Everyone Hated. Yeah, where everyone hates that video. Not everyone, but a lot of it. And I was like, well, why is Deku so obsessed with, Kotakun? Like, it makes no sense. I really disliked that when he's like, oh, Urakara, the girl I love, my best friend over there, and like my childhood friend that I want to be my best friend, and so on. They're all in danger. But he's like, where's Kotakun? Yeah, and that's his only reaction. And I felt, it doesn't make any sense as I'm writing. He should be like, where's Urakara? Where's this? Where's Kotakun? And then he should reason and say, well, Bakugo, he can fight, so we should save Kota is a kid, yeah. And then he should reason that out internally. I have to go and save Kotakun first. Then I can save my friends. But the writing is like, Kotakun, and he runs away, yeah. Like, the other one doesn't exist, and I really dislike that. And this week is like, when he wakes up, it's like, where's Kotakun? Is he safe? Like, and that, I really hate that scene. This scene is really bad, like, really bad. Because, of course, it ends with dabi, like, I'm so evil, like he held him releasing Kasharan, just to show him, have him, like that super evil scene. It was a good scene, as I mentioned earlier, a really good scene. But shouldn't Deku wake up and be like, Kashan, shouldn't that be much more reasonable? Because the last thing he saw before he, started screaming and then got exhausted and, that collapsed, was Kashan being kidnapped. So his reaction should be like, Kashan, where are you? Did someone save Kashan? That should be his normal reaction, right? Because that's the last thing that happened to him before he was like, no, and so on, yeah, and then out in coma. So like that's that should be the reasonable waking up, right? You saw something happening, close your eyes, it's like, what happened? What did happen to that thing, right? So he should definitely say, where's Kashan? Someone save him, and then it could be, I hope Kota is fine, or his Kota is fine, and so on. That should be his second reaction after where is Bakugo or Kashan. So yeah, I think that makes no sense to me. I mean, it made bad sense, or less low. It wasn't very good, episode 4 or 5, whatever. But here to me, it made even less sense. Like, last time I felt that he should think about his girl and so on also, so I didn't like it. All right, but here it's like, he just saw Kasha being kidnapped, and still isn't remembering. It's like, Kotakun? Where's Kotakun? It's like, what? You saw Kasha being kidnapped? Is that what you think about right now? So yeah, so the last scene, kind of almost last scene, but yeah, I think it's a bad scene. And I stand by it. I had a comment on my other video where someone was like, no, Kotakun, no, you're wrong, or whatever. I really dislike that. I really, really dislike that. I think that is just, I'll say it again. And I said, by that is bad writing. That's probably actually my least favorite moment of this whole anime. Yeah, probably. Like that makes no sense. He just saw Kashan being kidnapped, and then the next scene he's like, where is Kotakun, right? This is unbelievably bad in my opinion. I see that the whole episode, but that moment I was like, okay, I have to go to Kotakun, okay. that moment is like, almost ignoring this moment existed right now. Let's go on. The rest of the episode is great. That was not good. Anyway, I hope that's the review, and I'll see you guys next week.